On today's video, I'm going to show you a few uses for this.
This is the Old Guy Network.
Yep. Welcome back to the Old Guy Network. I'm the old guy, the OG, Jay. You know who you are. And it's a beautiful day here in the trailer hood, always is, and I thank you for stopping by. I like it when you come by here and just, hang out for a little while. Today we're going to talk about my best friend in the shop, and that is this little deal right here. This is a speed square. We've had these available for many years now, and a lot of people still don't know what the heck it is and what it does or what it can do and how much it can improve your woodworking skills. This is a handy tool to have. Now, I just learned about these a few years ago. I didn't know what they were, but I use one of these every day. Before I use my table saw, I use one of these. I'll show you what I mean. Every time I take my skill saw outside, if I got to make straight cuts, I use one of these. Speed squares come to us from the Swanson Tool Company. They invented the thing back in 1925, and I am so glad they did. Now, I don't have a Swanson. I have 3 different speed squares, 2 7-inch and I think 1 17-inch. One's made out of fiberglass, the other one's made out of plastic, and the third one is made out of aluminum, which are nice, but Swanson makes them out of steel, and a steel one is a little bit better to have. Now, if you'll notice at the top, and you see where the little arrows point, those are called scribe lines. A lot of speed squares, or some speed squares, don't have those little scribe notches, and that's what you want. They're scribe notches to make lines. That's important to remember. Try to get one like that. I'm going to show you just how easy it is to scribe a line on a board, especially if you're outside and you got to rip a board with a skill saw. Well, you want to have the ability to put a line down, and you want to do it quickly. You don't want to have to mess around with a straight edge or measure it all out and all that. No, you don't have to do that. With this, you can do it a lot easier. And you don't have to use a chalk line, which is messy and, just a pain in the butt. So let's head on out to the shop now. I'm going to show you how to do that and a few other things with the speed square. Hey, we're back in the shop, and today we're going to talk about speed squares. Speed squares. Speed squares! What the hell does this thing do anyway? This thing does a lot. Now, there are some things that you can do with this. You can actually figure out the angles to cut timber so that you can make joints like up there, all that. I'm not going to do that today. We're going to start off simple, and I'm going to show you the basic things that you can do with a speed square. And if you've never used one of these before or never seen one of these before, this is an important tool. This is my best friend in the shop. It really is. Don't tell the table saw because he'll get jealous. But I use this each and every day. And before I even use the table saw, I will use this speed square. These have been around since 1925. The Swanson Tool Company invented the damn thing. And I don't have a Swanson. I wish I did, because those are made out of steel, and you can do more with the steel ones than you can with the aluminum, plastic, fiberglass. They make them out of a bunch of different materials. I don't have a Swanson. Next best thing, I've got an Empire, and it is aluminum, so it's fairly rugged. And let me show you what I do, what I use this for when I'm using the table saw. Now, the first thing you want to do when you go to use your table saw is you want to make sure that the blade is at 90 degrees. You can't make a straight cut if the blade's not straight. And you do that simply by using your speed square. Lift the blade up as far as you can, put the speed square right up against it, and make sure there's no daylight in between the speed square and the blade. Look at that, that's perfect. That's the first thing you want to do. Now, whether you're making 90-degree cuts or 30-degree cuts, 25-degree cuts, it doesn't matter what size you're making or what degree you're going with. Let's lift this back up. This is the next thing I always check if I'm going to do a 90 degree, I don't go by the guide on the on this little deal right here. No, I want to check that and make sure that this is just perfectly 90 degrees, and it is not. So we'll loosen this up, slide our square over, and look at that. Now that's perfect. I'm going to check that both ways. We know we have 90 degree this way. We know we've have this perfectly straight. And I'm good to go. I can start making flags or squirrel picnic tables or whatever it is I want to make on this, all because of my speed square. Say you're outside and you want to make a nice straight cut right here, a 90 degree cut on this piece of wood using your skill saw. First thing you want to do is find a pencil, which normally I have one within arm's reach. But here we go. Damn, I gotta clean this place. Now look at that. We have a nice line right there. That's the first thing you want to do. Now, the next thing you want to do is make sure that your saw is stable. And we do that by lining up our blade. You know it's going right there. Now we take our speed square and always put it with the lip side in the front, because it's so much easier to hang on to it that way. If you try to do it this way, it's just not as good. So we line up our blade with the mark that we just made, and look at that. So we marked our line, we use the speed square as a guide, and we can check it to make sure that it's right. And it is. It's perfect. Speed square. This is the best damn invention. Now, let's say we want to make a line. In the old days, what I would do is I would take a tape measure, and let's say we want to go 3 inches. We're going to say it's approximately right there. Then I would go over here, another 3 inches, and I would mark that. Okay? Then I would take a straight edge, put it over here, and then make a line. Now, speed squares come with different options. As you can see, this one has these little notches right here. Those are scribe lines, or scribe notches, or yeah, they're for scribing. You'll notice that some of the speed squares, the other two that I have, don't have those. So you want to make sure you have these, because this is a simple little trick. Let's say we want to put a line 3 inches from the edge. Put the speed square flush on the board. We look for the 3-inch mark. And usually I would have that clamped down. Look at that. Perfectly. 3 inches right there. Okay, let's say we want to take this piece of wood and we want to cut 15 degrees right across here. All we need to do is we put our speed square on here. Now the pivot point doesn't have a notch in it, but it does have a pivot point and tells you right there. You want to have that flush up against your stock, and then move this to the appropriate number, which would be 15. That's the degrees right there. That's the scale. So we put that on 15 degrees. Exactly. Hold it. Use a clamp if you're not too steady. And then we have a nice, perfect 15-degree mark. That's pretty good. Simple uses for a speed square. This one's really cool. I just learned this a little while ago. As long as you have a metal one, that works best. These fiberglass ones don't work as well, the plastic ones.
But these work well. Look at that. Cleans all the crap off your board before you put it in your joiner or planer. So that's kind of cool. Also, now you can do it with the metal ones or you can do it with the plastic ones. You can use these as ice scrapers. Now I'm in the great state of Maine and I have used this as an ice scraper on my windshield, and it works really, really well. Now another thing that people use it for, and I see just about every video on YouTube, some clown will pick up a beer bottle and he'll use this as a bottle opener. I'm not going to do that. I can tell you that you can do that if I had a Swanson, which is stainless, well, not stainless steel, but it's steel. Well, hell, it could be stainless steel. I have no idea. But the Swanson ones are metal. They're nice heavy metal. They're steel and wouldn't probably wreck your speed square if you used it as a bottle opener. This one, it's aluminum. It would chip, and this one, of course, that would get destroyed. But basically, all you do is put your beer bottle right under here and pop the top. So yeah, who doesn't want a cold one while you're using power saws, right? And I've even seen people say they can use them as a weapon and throw it at people in case, you know, you see somebody that you owe money to, you just give it a little toss. But that's it. That's simple things you can do with a speed square. If you want to learn how to do different cuts for rafters and different degrees, there are charts right on this one here. Gives you a conversion of the different degrees. You can use all this. I'm not going to cover, I didn't cover that on this video. I will cover that on another video later. I just want you to get used to using the speed square first. Use it for the basic things. Straighten your saw blade. Make sure you're getting a straight cut. Use it as a guide for wood when you're using your skill saw. You can use this thing for so many different things. And the one thing that I really like is being able to scribe a nice straight line. That saves a lot of time. So that's it, the speed square, my best friend in the shop. And I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, please hit like and share. And please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos. That's going to do it for me and Mr. Speed Square and Mrs. Speed Square. Until the next time, I am the OG. And I'm out.